Welcome everybody to the Koochiching County Board of Commissioners regular meeting for Tuesday, May 27, 2025. Will you please help me open with the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everyone. First item under county business is to approve the proposed agenda with additions and or deletions. I haven't heard we have neither today, so Chair would accept the motion as presented for the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hell. Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. The next item is to approve the minutes from the May 13, 2025 regular meeting. The only thing I noticed in that, I'd accept a motion for discussion on that.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner McIntyre. In our packet, there was 2 page 3s and 1 page 2. There's one note, I guess, just to add the page 2. So with that change, any discussion? Just to note the page 2 change. So, all right, okay, we have first and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you. Next up is financial business. Chair to accept the motion for items A, B, and C, which is A is approved courthouse claims, B approved highway claims, C approved public health and human services claims.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner McIntyre.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach. Any discussion on the claims? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. Next up is to accept the donation. Whereas Stephen Jester donated cash to the Sheriff's Office in the amount of $100 to be used for the DARE Fund. Whereas the following donation was deposited into the coffee fund of $100. Whereas the funds will be used in accordance with the specified purpose. Now therefore be it resolved, the Koochiching County Board of Commissioners accepts the above listed donation for the Sheriff's Office Coffee Fund. This is under Statute 465.03, gifts to municipalities. We have to accept those donations, and we certainly appreciate the donation from Mr. Jester. But we will need a motion to accept that.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Next up is to approve warrant voids. One in the amount of $383.19, and the other one in the amount of $35,994.55. The $383.19 was several charges to one entity under one billing. It was under one check. Wrong vendor, warrant not mailed. The other one is a duplicate payment, warrant not mailed. So one check was destroyed, one check was sent on that second one. Chair would accept the motion to approve those voids.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Howell. Any discussion on the voids? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Next up is item 4A, is approve filling a full-time lead transfer station operator and approve backfilling any vacancies from internal transfers. Administrator Cole, would you explain a little bit of what we're going on? We've been discussing it for a while with the SDS.
Right. Early on in the legislative session, the governor's proposed budget did not include funding for the STS program. I know there's quite a bit of lobbying done to try to save the program. I received notice last week, and I think there's communication, or there's a 30-day notice given by the Department of Corrections to the county that the STS program will end on June 18th, 2025, as the legislature did not fund it. I know we met a couple times in management committee and made a recommendation to the board to add a lead transfer station operator position. The STS program does the majority of the recycling for the county, and all the sorting and hauling and things related to that. That lead transfer station operator position would then oversee the STS program, probably 2 to 3 days a week, and then they work independently at the transfer station on the other days. The last board meeting, the board approved recruiting for that position because we didn't know yet if it would be funded. So we're here today to ask permission to offer that job and fill that position. I know that we have a couple applicants. I don't know if they've done interviews yet. Brian can certainly come up, but that's where we're at in the process.
And yeah, just this was funded through the state previously, and
Historically, and funding was transitioned to the county over time. Most recently, we were paying 75% of the cost of the program. The state was paying 25%. We're now not paying.
Is it for sure a dead thing? Is it for sure gone?
Received that 30-day notice from that's in your packet from the Department of Corrections, so I received other emails and communications prior to receiving that it was not going to be funded. So that was, at least the session's not over, the budget's not approved, but that must have come out of conference committee that they were not planning to fund that.
They haven't passed the budget yet.
Correct.
right, wishes of the board.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Roach. Seconded by Commissioner, excuse me, seconded by Commissioner Howell to approve filling the full-time lead transfer station operator and approve backfilling any vacancies from internal transfers. This is nearly a financial wash for us here. I know that that position through the STS did, like Adam was saying, a lot of the recycling and stuff that we would fall behind on out of the station if it wasn't filled. So I think it's important that that continues. It'd be just too much for people to absorb that and keep our collections, keep our sorting and things like that out there. So feel awful for this position being, removed and everything, and it really is, to me, it's kind of crummy after just a 30-day notice after, I don't know, 20 plus years of doing the position. So, but we in order to fill that space, we had some discussion in management and in personnel, and kind of decided that this was the best path forward. So, do you have anything to add, Brian?
We've had internal and external applicants for it. Again, like Administrator Crowe said, we have not begun the interview process because we wanted to know what was going to happen as far as the state budget goes. And we are ahead of the game, so we are prepared to move forward.
Right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. The next item is to amend board motion to correct effective date, 2025-04 from April 17th. And this is to amend the following motion to correct the effective date to July 11th, 2025. Motion by Commissioner Roach, seconded by Commissioner Hill to approve employment separation, retirement of Brenda Promersberger from the Environmental Service Department Accounting 2 Tech position effective July 1st, which is extending that day by 10 days. And to approve filling the vacancy to provide training prior to retirement. So the only change would be the date.
Ten days.
10 days.
It was supposed to be July 11th the first time around.
I'll make a motion.
Didn't make the minutes correctly.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Any discussion?
I just want to know, it's not in the RBA, but for the future board meeting, we did hire a replacement.
You-
for
you-
Brenda.
You did?
And we're in the midst of orientating and getting her on board going through the hiring process.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you. And next up, a resignation, Brian.
Yes, so we're seeking board approval to accept the resignation of Riley Jacobson, our part-time 911 corrections and dispatcher position. He's moving out of state as of 6/1.
All right, can I get a motion accepting this resignation?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner McIntyre. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. And thank you to Riley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
The next item is acknowledge resolution delegating cannabis authority from the city of Big Falls. And per Minnesota statute, cities may delegate cannabis authority to their county. Big Falls has adopted a resolution delegating cannabis registration and enforcement authority to Koochiching County. Not indifferent from the other couple that we've had come across the table. You see attached, they have the motion from May 12, 2025, signed by the mayor and the clerk.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Erickson. Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you. Next up is to approve the warrant void in the amount of $122.16 and one in the amount of $20. And this is through Health and Human Services. Oh, sure. Please, Derek. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Oh.
You're hiding there. You have a couple warrant voids.
Yep, one of them was for some medical assistance transportation, and the other one was for the vendor actually won't take checks. We have to use the card for that one, so just voiding those ones out because they're not necessary.
All right. Wishes of the board.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Hey, Dean.
Motor pool.
Motor pool business here today. Yeah, I'm here representing the motor pool. We'd like to purchase a vehicle actually for 2026, but in order to get on the state bid stuff, we have to get in here like this month, so June. That'll be for a 26 vehicle. So. And then what it is, we'd like to purchase another Chevy Equinox like we have currently over there, a number of them over there. It's an all-wheel drive vehicle. They like them because they can get through the snow and stuff like that as they're doing their business and stuff like that. So the car that we'd be getting rid of would be the Chrysler 200. It's the auditor car that's in this parking lot here. It's had some issues with it this year. I put some money into it, and it's extremely difficult to change the battery on the thing. You have to take the front left tire off and get it and go through the side of it to get that, and I don't want to do that anymore. So actually, we've taken it in to have it done. So I'm here, looking for approval to move ahead with seeking quotes on both state bid, and I'll also shop around to the local folks to get any kind of local pricing and within a reasonable circumference of us as well.
All right, wishes of the board.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner McIntyre.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, Dave. Hi, Nathan.
Good morning.
And first up is to approval of a tax forfeited property repurchase request.
Yep, so we're looking for board approval to approve the repurchase by the former owner of the Lot 14, Block 77 in the Platte International Falls. So this is allowed under state statute. The former owner has paid up all the back taxes and whatnot beforehand. So this is just kind of the final step in that process. So.
Great, thank you, Nathan. Chair, accept a motion to approve the tax forfeited property repurchase.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you. Good morning.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ben Weston, area forester for the DNR, based on Little Fork.
Thanks, welcome.
Thank you.
So this next item involves a project that's kind of been in the works for the last couple of years. It's involves those former potlatch lands within the county that the Conservation Fund bought in 2020. Those, as you recall, there's past board letters of support in there, but part of that project is eventually the remaining lands here in the county, either the DNR or the county would end up with those lands. The county, we ended up with 560 acres out of that project, and we actually, the deeds were recorded to put those acres in the county's name here a week ago. So that part of it's done, and now the final leg of that project is there's 1,619 acres remaining that the DNR, the goal was to get those lands in the hands of the DNR. So a big chunk of the funding for this acquisition came from the Sard Sands Outdoor Heritage Council. That's what paid for the lands that the county acquired, Northern Waters Land Trust represented all 8 counties in Minnesota that were part of this project to get that funding. Then a big chunk of the DNR's acquisition is going to come from that as well. But the DNR is using a little bit of RIM funding, reinvest in Minnesota. So that requires a county board resolution of support to use these funds. So that's what this is here today. So.
And those RIM funds are used elsewhere in the state. Typically, they're to acquire SNAs, scientific and natural areas, or WMAs, wildlife management areas. But none of that's being used in our county. It's all going to be forestry administered land. But it's one big real estate transaction, so they need the board resolution of support to complete it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for all the work on this. I know, like you say, it's been going along for quite a while, and I think it's a good move, and certainly appreciate the DNR's efforts and you know, getting that back into your hands and getting it to be managed again. So, any wishes of the board?
This is manageable land though, right?
Yeah.
It's not locked, it's not encumbered by anything.
No encumbrances on this. It'll be DNR acquired land, and it'll be managed by the Division of Forestry for managed actively, so it'll come with all the benefits of fiber production, wildlife habitat, clean water, reduced fire risk, all those things to be managed in the same way as the vast majority of our lands are in the county.
I would make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Erickson.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Ross.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate it.
Final item here is just an informational item. We do this quarterly with the board just to review the results of our most recent timber auction. Our second quarter timber auction was held on May 7th down in Big Falls. We sold all tracts but one at the auction. We sold a little over 31,000 cords of timber for a total sale value of $972,000, and then we do our May auction. We also sell our Christmas tree, decorative Christmas tree tips on that auction as well. So we sold just under 275,000 pieces of Christmas tree tips as well, so that the value of those put the grand total sale value of just over $1 million on that auction. Prices for the spruce tips were down from what we had seen. Everything pretty much sold for appraised at 30 cents a piece. Last year we were seeing 65 to 70 cents on average, so that was a little change. As far as the timber goes, aspen is kind of the marker that everybody kind of follows, but we were up from our January auction. Our January auction, we averaged just a hair under $31 a cord for aspen, and the auction here a couple weeks ago we were at $38.16 a cord. So up from January, but if you compare it to a year ago, our May auction in 24, we were down just slightly, a little more than a buck a cord. So I think demand, should be strong through the summer and into the fall. I would think so.
There's a lot of wood in the woods. Had different landings and stuff, but it seems like it.
A lot of softwood. They're chewing it up. The trucks are running pretty steady, pretty heavy over there.
You will see a noticeable absence of trucks on the highway next week because it's the annual outage, so they won't be taking any wood deliveries for a week. I think next week, is it?
Yeah. Monday or Saturday.
Yeah. So that's just informational for the board if you have any questions on that.
Anything?
So, some years spruce got cut last winter.
Yeah, we had a pretty good winter last winter on spruce harvest. We kind of had a backlog of it just because the previous couple of winters hadn't been really conducive for the folks to get in and freeze those sites, roads down, and get in and get them harvested. But as Commissioner Erickson mentioned, yeah, we had a pretty good pretty good spruce harvest weather last winter. We still have, you know, not everything got done that was expiring, so folks had to do extensions, but they put a dent in it for sure, so.
The Christmas tree drops, how many, sold 258,000 of them in one sale or something like that. How many acres was that?
Oh, it really, each site is a little bit different, but I would say, I mean, that's probably, you know, roughly 250 to 300 acres worth.
That's big areas.
Yeah. Yeah, so what we do, you know, black spruce after you harvest it, a lot of times it'll come back naturally on its own through this, you know, the seed that's in the moss, the sphagnum moss that's on site. But we've been aerial seeding it as well to get that stocking up. And these Christmas tree harvests, we go in and it's kind of almost like a pre-commercial thinning, and that the revenue that we generate off of that more than pays for that aerial seeding that we do, so.
Other things you figure out, eh? Spruce tops.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And the black river road, they did quite a bit over there the last few years.
Yeah, there's the market dynamics have changed. A lot of that material used to come out of Canada, and I don't know if it's border restrictions or if they've got forest pest issues up there. A lot of it used to happen in Western Canada, Alberta, British Columbia, but for whatever reason, a couple of years ago, what was produced up there and brought into the U.S. kind of tailed off a little bit. So the market is, you know, looking to make that shortfall up here, and there's really not too many places in the U.S. where black spruce grows, so we're kind of one of the few places in this part of the state in general. Obviously, we know how many wetlands and peatlands we have here, and that's what black spruce likes. So that's, I guess from that standpoint, it's the one small instance where we maybe have an advantage over everybody else. So.
Yeah, it's an industry that never used to be. Well, I guess they've always had kind of Christmas tree cutters, but not the tops.
Yeah, a lot of, so yeah, like Commissioner Erickson mentioned, it's not so much people cut them for Christmas trees, but they go, you know, they're cutting the 1 to 3 or 4 foot tall tops of the trees, essentially, those young black spruce trees, and they go into these decorative pot arrangements that you buy at a greenhouse or Costco or Menards or wherever you see in these big box stores. And so your wives have all probably drug one home at Christmas time.
Not mine.
All right.
Very good, Nathan, thank you.
Yes,
All right,
thank you.
Thanks.
You got money for us too, Ken?
I'm not spending too much, I don't think.
Come on.
Morning.
All right. The highway department has 3 items this morning. First one is provide a resolution to transfer excess municipal construction funds to regular construction funds. Or to the regular construction fund. I guess for background on this, the county works with state aid. We've got 2 main construction accounts. We've got our regular construction, which can be used on any CASA road in the county, and we've also got municipal construction, a municipal construction account. That can only be used on our CASAs within city limits of a city under 5,000, under a population of 5,000. So that includes your North Home, your Mizpah, Big Falls, Little Fork, and Rainier. We also have caps on these accounts. So if you look on page 3 of this, our cap for municipal construction as of last year was $1.477 million. Currently, as of this morning, we have 1.475. So we're under that threshold by $2,000. However, when our annual report goes through here in the next week or so, there'll be some additional leftover maintenance funds from CASA municipal maintenance that are going to be pushed over. That will bring us up above that threshold. So in order to bring us back down, state aid allows us to transfer these funds, keeping 2 years in our municipal construction fund, allows us to transfer them over to our regular CASA construction fund. If we didn't do that, we would get deductions in the following year.
You can use them for CASA projects.
Can use them for anywhere. We can go back and use those funds in the municipal areas. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But municipal funds, if they're in that municipal account, we can't use those on regular CASA roads.
You have to use those within city limits.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
I do have a resolution in here. I don't know if you need me to read it or not. Just talks about giving the authority to state aid finance to roll over $890,221.87 to our regular construction account from our municipal construction account.
Wishes of the board.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner McIntyre.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Welch. Any discussion? Anything else to add, Trent, on that?
So our allocation last year was just about $300,000. I did have a project scheduled for this year. It was CASA 46, which goes by the Rainier Beach and outlets near City Beach. We need to do more engineering with the soils out there. So that project got pushed to next year.
Yeah, there's some driveways and things that you're thinking about raising that road a little bit, or?
I would like to, but there's right-of-way issues out there. And then, like you said, there's soil issues as well with, all the rock. And then you got clay right above that rock. The road just moves a lot.
Yeah.
The water table is right there as well, so.
It is, yeah.
We want to do the best job that we can, so it's going to take an extra year. And hopefully, knock on wood, it works out good. But that would have taken this remaining balance. I'm sure it's going to be a $1.5 million job at least, so.
Right. All right.
You can still use that money once we move it to the one account. You can still use it for,
Yep, I can still use it in Little Fork, I can still
Wherever.
use it in Rainier, I can still use it wherever. There's no restrictions on where you can use regular CASA construction
and
funds.
if you don't get out of that account, then you get deducts.
Correct.
It's not gone. Good deal.
Yeah, if you look on that page 3,
Yeah, so why would Lake have a 2.8 million?
so let's see, Lake County,
Deduction, it says.
their municipal construction deduction was going to be just about $500,000. They ran into, I believe, some projects where, well, number one, they were waiting for some federal funding to combine with these funds. And then I think they lost some pretty important people within their department. I think they might have lost their assistant engineer who was working on some bigger projects. And they had to scramble towards the end of the year to get these funds moved.
Any other comments, questions? Not hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries, thank you.
And just to piggyback on what Dale was asking there, so each of these funds has a restricted limit to it. So like I said, for municipal, our limit right now is $1.477 million. That's in municipal construction. In regular construction, we can carry 2 years allotment balance. So for that, for us, that's just over 8.8 million.
So we're still below that at least,
As of
By a fair-
this morning, we're at 6.5 million.
right?
Now we'll transfer that 800 and some thousand dollars, so we'll have, what, $7.3 million in there.
Still below the threshold.
Yeah. Item number 2, authorization to purchase a new large format scanner plotter. The last board meeting came in to get authorization to request for quotes. We went out for quotes, got 2 quotes on the same scanner plotter. It's Canon Image TZ32000 with the NFPZ36 scanner. E.O. Johnson came in at just about $16,000. Loeffler came in at $12,144.49. This is a budgeted item. Would recommend going with Loeffler for that $12,144.49.
Is that with the $800 credit?
Yeah, both of them have an $800 credit for trading in and getting rid of this OSA that we've got.
Wishes of the board.
Does it have the service? It says inclusive service. Is that $95 a month above?
No, we're just getting the equipment. Any repairs or anything, we'll take that on an as-needed basis. We didn't sign up for any service agreement. They gave us the option of the service agreements. They also gave us the option of leasing the unit for, I forget, was it like $295 a month or something?
216 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, 261. 61.
Got a year warranty on this stuff? Year 2?
Is there any warranty, or do you have to buy a service plan in order to get warranty?
No, there's always a warranty. Let's see, warranty. Might be 90 days. It doesn't look like it's called out in the quote.
Year satisfaction.
Only if equipment has been continuously maintained under a Loeffler maintenance agreement.
Yeah.
Nothing for nothing.
I do believe that Loeffler supplies all of our printers in the courthouse and in my office as well.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Lynch.
A second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? And motion carries.
Thank you. And the final one here, provide a resolution to utilize state aid construction funds for the Mizpah maintenance shop. So MnDOT allows for the use of regular construction funds for a maintenance facility construction. These funds can be used as a percentage of the county's CASA roads versus the county roads. Our breakdown is 254.25 miles of state aid and 67.03 miles of county road. Now, this excludes all the UT roads. You'll remember a few years ago, we went through the process where we changed out a lot of our county roads to UT roads. This is one area that it benefits us. So rather than having kind of a 50-50 split, which we had before, a little bit more, but now we're at 79-21 officially. So for the MISPA maintenance shop, we could go 79% state aid, 21% local funds for paying for it. Yeah, the highway department is currently in the process of building a new shop. We are required to provide a resolution approving the use of state aid construction funds for this project.
Can I ask, does that include everything? Does that include the sanitary and the water? Would that,
It could, yes.
if it needs to be?
Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the sewer system and the well, paying for that with maintenance funds as opposed to construction dollars.
Okay.
Resolution, I can read that quick. I'm proud of this one. Getting better with my whereases and
What if, whereas and what if?
Yeah. Whereas Koochiching County is responsible for the construction and maintenance of 254.25 miles of county state aid highways and 67.03 miles of county roads. And whereas Koochiching County has determined that the replacement of the county maintenance shop in Mizpah, Minnesota is needed to properly maintain county state aid highways and county roads in this area of Koochiching County. Now therefore be it resolved that the Koochiching County Board of Commissioners approves the use of county state aid highway construction funds to facilitate the replacement of the Mizpah maintenance shop in Mizpah, Minnesota in Koochiching County.
Very good.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Erickson.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Any discussion? Timeline, are they in the ground now?
We have the pad all laid out there.
Ready to-
I would hope that in the next week they'll start working on the concrete, putting in forms. I have not went out for bids yet on the well or the sewer system. Still writing a proposal for it, so. I know I got authorization at the last board meeting for that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Trent.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Thanks.
Great. Anybody here for public comment, online or in person? Hearing no public comment, do you have any other business item?
Just want to announce that our public hearing on the cannabis ordinance will be at 9 a.m. on June 10th here.
9 a.m., June 10th.
The second reading of our
Will be the second reading of the cannabis ordinance for Koochiching County. So it'll be prior to our regular board meeting. Anything else? Great. Hearing nothing else, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
Make it.
Thank you, Commissioner Bell.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Roach. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.